Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a review and get ready with me together. This is not a first impression, and I want to stress that because I am so over people doing first impression reviews. It's either a first impression or it's a review. You cannot do the two things together because it's not enough time to know. The first time you try something is not enough to know how you feel about it forever. So let's do this review. Get ready with me using the ABH Soft Glam palette. It is now the beginning of March. This released on the 14th of February. I picked it up immediately from the European ABH website. It was 42 pounds, I believe. It came out to be 50 euros for me. Shipping was free. It arrived in 2 days. Amazing service as always with Anastasia. Very happy with it. I picked it up because I wanted to have a full collection. That is a very lame excuse, but let's put it also in another way. I'm getting married in May and they marketed it as a wedding palette. I don't know, I'm trying to find excuses. I just wanted it because I have the other three that are in the permanent line and I just wanted to have a sister. This is how it looks like inside. It is a very neutral palette. No, I did not need it, and I can tell you immediately, you probably don't. If you're on YouTube and you have any type of good sized makeup collection, you will have all of these shades already. However, they are all nice and together. It's still a warm toned palette, I find, with one more on the cool tone side transition shade and these neutrals that you can use with both, I would say. It pulls both on the yellow warm tone side as well as a little bit on the pinky side with some of the shades. I'm trying not to blend you guys and show you at the same time. But yeah, let's get ready together and I'll talk to you a little bit about the palette. I already primed my eyes and I will go in immediately with the shade Tempera to set my primer. So this shade is already present in the Modern Renaissance palette, and to be honest, that's fine with me. It's a really good shade to set your primer. It is a really good shade to highlight the brow bone because it is a matte cream shade. It is a neutral undertone. It's not too pink, it's not too yellow. I really like the shade. I'm happy it's in this palette, and I have missed a shade like this in other palettes before. We've talked about it. I'm actually gonna do something I never do. I'm gonna pull off the little sticker on the mirror. I've had it for a long time, but I usually never take these off because I like the mirror to be clean when I need it. And since I don't have a mirror here, I'm gonna use it. Then, to go in the crease, you actually have multiple choices. To start with, Orange Soda is the lightest one, but also Burnt Orange are two very, very good transition shade options. I usually actually use both. I take a little bit of a mix of both and I go to give my eye a first transition. I like the choice of these two shades, however I find that they are too similar to each other. So as a light transition, you don't have a peach and an orange or a yellow and an orange. You have both of the shades are just two darker shades of the same orangey shade. I said shade so many times. I'm sorry. It works okay, but I find that it can get a little bit repetitive. I sometimes don't want orange in my crease, and then it's, I don't know, a bit limiting from that point of view. But the formulation is really, really nice. This is nothing like Subculture, much more like Modern Renaissance, or actually completely like Modern Renaissance. Norvina, the daughter of Anastasia, said herself that it was the idea and that the formula is the same as Modern Renaissance. To deepen up the crease a little bit further, there are multiple ways to go. But the main shades are, I guess, Dusty Rose, which is a mauve. Then you have Sienna, which is a sienna color, so a little bit more on the red undertone. And then there's Rustic, which is a little bit more mustardy and brown, I would say. For the look of today, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna mix these two together. When you don't know what to do, just mix them. I do really like these two shades. I find that these are the shades that I use on a daily basis anyways. I actually bought this palette exactly for this reason. So I don't have a lot of time in the morning, and I work every day in an office, and I don't think my colleagues actually want to see me with the crazy makeups that I do when I don't work in an office. When I was a PhD and I worked in the lab, nobody cared what color I had on my eyes. Nobody cared about anything I was wearing, and that was actually why I started my channel and my blog. But now I think I also need to represent my company, so I thought this was a perfect neutral palette for every day, and I would get a lot of use out of it. And it's definitely true. I've used it non-stop every day since I got it. I have either used a few shades or all of the shades, used it completely for my looks. But yeah, now we have our crease shade, our transition shade. I would now go in to deepen up the outer V. And there's a few options. I would say I love the shade Mulberry up here. It's a very nice terracotta burnt color. I really like it. It pulls a little bit red. Really nice. Then there's Cypress Umber. This shade is also in Modern Renaissance, and it's just a neutral brown. Really good. Then they added Noir, which is a black, and I actually only use it for more dramatic looks, to deepen out the outer V, or to use it as a liner. All really good options, and I will use Mulberry because it's my favorite shade, and apply this concentrated on the outer corner. Let's say that with this palette you're not going to make very exciting looks. They're all going to be very neutral. They're all going to be work appropriate, I guess, if color is the only thing that your work doesn't want to see on your makeup. You can use them for smoky eyes. I think this works very well for smoky eyes. And you can use it for very natural looks. So if I didn't go in and deepen the outer V, could have just put a shimmer on my lid, and happy days, could left the house for a very natural makeup. And personally, I really like that versatility, and that's also, I don't want to admit it, but this is the colors that I wear every day. I am a color lover, and I would love to be able to just wear color every day all the time, but yeah, I don't. Confession time here. Now that my eyes are done, I am ready to put a shimmer on my eyes, and there are multiple different options and textures in here. These two shades here, Sultry and Bronze, these are very chunky metallic shades. They really remind me of the shades in the Prism palette. They have multi-dimensional metallic and glitter. Very beautiful. I love this formula. Then you have Rose Pink, Glistening, and Fairy. These three are more of your classic shimmers. Very good payout, but indeed more of your classic finish. What I am still unsure of is why we needed Glistening and Fairy in this palette. And I'm going to show you swatches of this. They are pretty similar, and I don't get why you needed a duochrome pink and gold and a gold that look very similar to each other. I think one of the two could have been swapped out, but that is the case with many of the shades in here. As I said, Orange Soda and Burnt Orange also didn't need to be in there, and these two I think as well. So yeah, that is what it is. But I am going to take the shade Bronze right here. I am going to show you first how it looks while I put it on with a brush. There is a lot of fallout on this. It's very crumbly, so be careful. I actually dug in a little bit too hard right now. But that comes with the type of shade it is. I am not upset, and I actually expect it to be like that. And then I apply it on my lid, and boom. I love it. I hope you can see it. I know I actually should have probably zoomed you guys in a little bit more for this look. There you go. And this is exactly the payoff you get also with the other shade Sultry. That is more of a bronze pulling a little bit pink. Beautiful shade to change it up. Now I'm going to show you with my finger, because there's a lot of fallout, so I'm just going to tap it on with my finger, and you get a little bit more of that metallicness. I think you can wet your brush with it and get even more metallic payoff, but I actually don't think this shade's needed at all. And look at how much is still on my finger. I love this shade. I definitely am very happy that they added it into this palette, going in to blend the edges a little bit. Yeah, absolutely super happy to have this shade in the palette. Whether this would be my wedding makeup or not, I actually don't think so. But let me finish up my face and come back for the inner corner and a few more shades. Zoomed you in, and this is probably how I should have filmed this whole video, but I wanted to show you the fallout here. I do have quite a bit of fallout under my eyes from that shimmery shade, but not from any of the mattes, which is kind of what you expect, because if mattes are not ridiculously powdery, you shouldn't have too much fallout. And the metallics, unfortunately, it is what it is. With Anastasia palettes, I actually got used to doing my eyes first. It's just what works best, let's put it that way, to get the payoff that you get with the colors. Now back to me doing my foundation, and I'll be back for the rest of my eyes. Okay, my base is done. Now let's get back into the Soft Glam palette, and let's do under eyes or lower lash line and inner corner. For the inner corner, I am going to take Fairy, this shade here. I think it's a very nice light gold shade that fits very well with all of this madness that is, with all of this color scheme in the palette. It is very pretty. It is very pigmented, as you can see. It's a different texture though, as I mentioned before, than the shade bronze, for example. But it brightens really, really nicely. Also, I now see this lighting is way better. Look at that highlight. Ofra Rodeo Drive. Anyways, I do not have a pencil liner with me because of location issues, so I am going directly in with eyeshadows. I am going to bring Cypress Umber first underneath my eyes, closest to the lash line. And Cypress Umber is nice because it is a neutral brown, so it won't make your eyes look a little bit too red. I don't know if I'm in focus for this for you guys. I hope I am. So it's actually a very nice addition to a palette that could have been too warm, but this is a very nice grounding color. As you can see, these shades are all extremely pigmented. To blend that out, I am going into burnt orange again with a pencil brush and just blending that underneath to have a nice gradient. And then I'm actually going into Noir, the black in the palette, to intensify my lash line on the top of the eye. And you can see this is incredibly pigmented, and it really works as an eyeliner. I was sad I didn't have a pencil, but I don't think I actually need it at all, because this is so pigmented. I overdid it. Okay, small make it work moment, but it worked. I'm taking the black on the other eye as well. And a little bit less enthusiastic about it this time. Okay, and here are the finished eyes. Let me put on some mascara and I'll be right back. Here I am, this is the finished face. I didn't put on false lashes because I don't wear them on a daily basis, so I don't see why I should now. On my lips, I put an Anastasia Beverly Hills matte lipstick. The shade is Spice. This is a nude on me. I really like it. And yeah, final thoughts on the palette. Again, I've been using it for the last 2 weeks non-stop. Do I love it? Absolutely. The quality of the eyeshadows is amazing. They're soft, they're buttery, there's kick up, but it's because they're soft. They blend really well. I haven't had any problems with the shades blending weirdly on each other or patchiness of any kind. So nothing of that soap culture type of thing. I have hiccups, I'm sorry. And absolutely great quality of the eyeshadows. The color selection, I love. It's something I wear on a daily basis, so it works really well for me. Do you need it? Probably not. I would not recommend it for beginners because they're very pigmented eyeshadows and they blend well, yes, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna get a ton of eyeshadow on your eye and then you can't blend it. You just need to be to know what you're doing when you're using them. And if you already know a lot about makeup, you probably have neutral palettes in your collection. However, if you're thinking about a neutral palette and you're in between this one and let's say the Lorac Pro, probably this one is better. If the color family is something that is in your chords. I like this formula better than the Lorac Pro, and it's a little bit more exciting because of this beautiful texture of the two a little bit chunkier glittery metallics as well, and as staple mattes that for me are absolutely necessary for any look that I create. So if you have the shades, don't buy it. If you're wondering, I need a new neutral palette because all of my old ones are old, done, boring, whatever, definitely pick it up. Wait for a sale, I would say. If you're in the US, get it at Ulta with your 20% or Sephora with your 20%. If you're in Europe, the Anastasia Beverly Hills website has it in stock, but it's a bit on the expensive side. For 50 euros, I find that it's an expensive palette. Beauty Bay is gonna get it very soon, also probably around the same price because that's how the other ABH palettes are on their website. So yeah, I think 50 euros is a bit much for it. I would probably have paid the 36, I think, dollars that it is at Ulta with the 20%, actually, for sure. But I'm not in the US anymore. So yeah, that was my review. Get ready with me tutorial. I don't know, guys. I don't want to call it a tutorial because I can't teach you anything. It's just me doing my makeup on myself. So if you want to see dupes of this, let me know. I have infinite neutral eyeshadow singles in my collection. So I didn't actually want to go through and try to dupe it for you because there's many dupes out there for sure. But let me know if you're interested in that as well. I can absolutely take some pictures and put it on my blog or do a full video on it. Just let me know. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked this look. And you will put a like to this video. It helps me a lot. And subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.